Hello and welcome to this episode of the MediaTech podcast. Today we have Gibran Nassif. He is the social media manager for MediaTech, and he's going to talk to us about TikTok. It is a relatively new platform, used to be Musical.ly, but it's one that is really showing its presence as a really great potential marketing tool for artists and brands alike, and even filmmakers. So this is a great podcast, and here is Gibran. So today we have Gibran Nassif. I think I got your name right again. Is that right?
Yes, there, you got it.
Awesome, man. Well, welcome to the podcast. I apologize for doing a call-in. Not only do you live super far, but I actually had strep this week, so I've been confined to my home for the past few days. But today we're going to talk about TikTok, which is not a platform I'm super familiar with, but it is one that's definitely taking off, or it seems to be at least. The extent to which that I know TikTok is that I know that it used to be Musical.ly. Is that right?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, it used to be Musical.ly, and then basically a Chinese startup, actually, they're called ByteDance. They're the ones that own TikTok. And basically TikTok's it's a massively popular video app. It definitely started with younger age groups, from... you can say middle school ages all the way into high school and college. And now it's kind of transformed into really right now it's the biggest social media platform.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, I mean, you as, an adult non-middle schooler, but someone that definitely has to keep your ear to the ground for these trends. I mean, how are you, what's your opinion on the platform, for our uses, right? For promoting artists and, et cetera.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very interesting. So it really became, people just kept telling me to get TikTok, to check it out. Of course, Old Town Road was a good example of he used that platform to basically make the song hit. A lot of people started doing a dance, and what's interesting about TikTok, there's a built-in music player. So it's basically linked to anyone on Spotify, Apple Music, and other streaming platforms. You can actually upload the song through a real-time video you post on TikTok. So that is why it stands out more than Instagram, Facebook, because you can actually have built-in music players on any video. And what's going on right now, you have a lot of lyrics for popular songs, for instance Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk. There's literally a stop, wait a minute hashtag. And wow. A lot of people basically film a funny video that matches to that lyric part of the song.
It definitely sounds like you were saying, like something that would be for more of a younger demographic, but I mean, how does that translate,
Sure, yeah. So in the music business, it's really there's a lot of artists that are now using this as a platform to engage with their fans more, from like a competition. Eminem recently did a Godzilla challenge. He basically released a new track with a really fast rapping verse. So now he's allowing his fans to try the rap out. And he's actually responding to people on TikTok. So there's now bigger artists getting TikTok, engaging with fans, doing these competitions that relate to the lyrics, the melody, or anything like that, or a specific dance. And now you have, on the production end, you have basically producers that really know how to make a TikTok hit.
Wow.
It's about the beat. Yeah, it's very amazing. It's about the beat, the catchiness, repetitive choruses. So that's become almost a big trend in the production world as well.
Wow, that's so weird. I want to backtrack a little bit. You said with Old Town Road. I mean, how did Lil Nas and his team use TikTok to further increase the popularity of that song? Because I mean, there hasn't been a song recently that I can remember, that maybe Despacito, but the one that has gone that mega huge.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great example. So really, it was the Old Town Road dance. It was that cowboy kind of. I can't really show it, obviously. Maybe I can send you a video. You can post it later. Sure. I wish I can show you. But it's So it's basically a popular dance people started to do. And people started sharing it, and that's when celebrities got into it and started sharing it. From Kylie Jenner to Kim Kardashian, they posted an Old Town Road video of them dancing. It's like a certain cowboy dance. And what happened with that, people started realizing who this artist is because on TikTok it's a music player, and you can basically, what's interesting about it, if you click the song, you can actually then record that a video with that same bit that other person used in the song. And then that's how it really built up. People were using that same, I got the horses on my back, blah, blah, blah. And that's how it really started spreading. And now artists are starting to use that same trend and pattern he used by promoting the song. So it's either like a dance, a funny dance, or a funny scene that relates to the lyric. It's really the combination of dance and music and that person feeling rewarded. On social media, so many people want to be like recognized and rewarded. And TikTok's kind of that way to connect that fan to the artist, or even a filmmaker. If he's trying to promote something, a new film he produced or a short film, it's really just good for posting really anything at this point. I just got a MediaTech TikTok. We're going to start engaging with students and potential students that get on there and share their music, and
that's cool.
Kind of have a nice platform besides, the cluttered Facebook and Instagram as well. So we have a whole other kind of avenue to share, media and projects and creative work.
Interesting. That's super cool. I want to share a quick story. It was Musically at the time. I go to VidCon at least every other year. I try to go every year. And for those that are listening that may not be familiar, VidCon is the biggest like kind of YouTube, but really it's like social media video convention. And I remember it was either 2017 or 2018. I went to a panel, and the main reason I go to VidCon is to attend like the industry panels where they talk about all the new stuff that's coming out, or new YouTube, analytics, or things that are changing or whatever. And I went to one about, at the time it was Musically, and I was super, because at the time I was the head of media at a fairly large company in McKinney called Traxxas. They make like RC cars and trucks and toys and things.
Oh, cool.
And we were extremely into YouTube. That was a very large marketing sort of strategy that we had, was just try to build our YouTube channel as much as possible, and we saw a lot of return on that. And we were very interested in learning more about the new platform Musically. And it was hilarious because we went to this panel, and I forget who it was, but it was some people definitely of note in the industry that were giving the panel. And the biggest takeaway that I got from that is nobody knows how to use this platform effectively for marketing businesses. I mean, that was like the thing. They gave no actual information. It was just like this huge fluff piece about why Musically is great for kids, but it, at the time at least, hadn't taken off at all to the point where people would know how to use it to market a business or a brand. And from that standpoint, how do you see that platform taking off? Like you said, with filmmakers or musicians, but really for brands in general. I mean, how important do you think that is now and will continue to be?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, what's interesting about TikTok, since they've grown so fast, and their revenue is just skyrocketing. Basically, they're now very similar to Spotify in their advertising areas. So they now, you can basically do paid advertising on TikTok. And what's great about that, it's really effective. It's way more cheaper than like TV or FM radio ads, just like Spotify. So it's a really good. They just keep expanding TikTok, and now you can do ads. You can promote a single you're trying to promote, or a film or a media piece, any kind of project you're working on. You can literally set ads and demographics, to each city, their interests, if they like other like horror films or something like that. If you're trying to produce a horror film, to of course, hip hop and rap is very popular too, but there's a lot of other stuff on there as well. It just keeps growing. I mean, there's a lot of that recently, I think a couple months ago, all the major labels, so Sony, Universal, and Warner, are now striking or negotiating licensing deals with
Wow,
TikTok.
that's so cool.
So it's incredible. Yeah. So now they're going to really have it as a platform to promote new singles. And basically they can then put it on TikTok and then have a certain dance or something people can follow to promote that single all across the platform.
So that was my next question, right? It's like the one of the biggest things that was even asked in that panel that didn't have a very good answer was how, as a brand, can you leverage that platform without getting into licensing issues? I mean, is everything that's uploaded to TikTok licensable for free by the people that make that content on the platform, or is it more complicated than that?
Yeah, it's what they do with these licensing deals. They always negotiate with a certain catalog of artists,
Okay.
and then what they'll do is that will just be available. But anyone like me or you, so basically an artist can release something through a digital distribution platform, right? So like TuneCore, CD Baby, there's a lot more others where me or you can pay $8 and we can basically in 2 weeks have our song on all platforms.
Right.
And now they're including TikTok
That's
as
so
a
cool.
streaming platform. Yeah.
Wow.
That's very cool.
So, I mean, like if you, on behalf of MediaTek, was to create a TikTok video that used, let's say, Old Town Road, would that potentially be dangerous for licensing? Or is it because that song is available on the platform already that it's already licensed for use on that platform?
Exactly. Yeah. Since that song's already on that platform, then the license is already negotiated.
Wow.
So and finished. So that Lil Nas X will get a little bit of royalties from that, and then that's it's now considered a licensed streamed or licensed stream. So now, yeah, or like someone, even a MediaTek artist. Let's say someone at MediaTek releases a single, they can put it on TikTok and have it available for people to share. And then whenever people play it, or if it even goes viral, hopefully, they could see some significant revenue in streaming numbers. And of course, hopefully a potential hit. And then you can kind of develop it into there, even do a TikTok ad at the same time. And just go angles. From there and exploit it. Yeah, all angles.
That's exactly. Cool. This is the last question that I came in wanting to ask specifically. So, I mean, every couple of years, I'm sure that you can relate. There's always this, the new platform. There was, I think last year was IGTV, and we all got excited about it. And I know that that's taken off to an extent, but I think a lot of us were hoping that would kind of, if not kill, at least seriously wound YouTube's sort of dominance in the space. But every couple of years, there's a new platform that everybody kind of latches onto from a marketing perspective, at least on the brand side, and hopes that that'll be sort of the next big thing. And to a large part, or to a large extent, I really feel like ever since MySpace, it's really just been Facebook and YouTube. I mean, Instagram, of course. But do you think that TikTok is here to stay and will continue to grow, or how do you see the long-term effects of that platform?
I do. I can see it long term. The thing is, it's grown so fast. I'm hoping it won't go away so fast. Especially a lot of these apps that come and go, like Vine, for instance.
Right.
Was a good example of that. But I do see TikTok lasting longer because we're seeing deals that labels are doing that they were never doing with Snapchat or Vine or even other social platforms. And just because you have really they call it viral hits, through this app. And once labels saw that opportunity, they dove right into it, of course. Of course, major labels, whenever they see a trend, they're going to buy into it, or just like what they do with Spotify and other streaming platforms. But they're now kind of considering that and integrating other streaming platforms and kind of cross-referencing like Spotify into TikTok and Apple Music catalogs into TikTok as well. But I do see lasting. Yeah, and a big trend right now Instagram, Facebook, in 2020, there's a lot of community messaging. That's a very big marketing trend right now, forming direct message groups with different creators, artists, fans, and building a big direct message platform. So that's a big trend right now. Another thing is SMS marketing.
Uh-huh.
If you see a lot of actors and musicians lately, hey, send me a text, and people are
Yeah.
like, what? And what's basically and they can actually look at it too. It's almost like a new platform of, again, connecting that fan to the actor, or the fan to the filmmaker, or the fan to the artist, in a way that's more personal than ever.
That's
And people
interesting.
are loving that trend as well. And of course, saving that number, and they'll probably send you a promotional text, a month later.
I mean,
Things like
I'm sure
that.
that that'll be its own podcast at some point because that really is exploding, it seems like. But
Yeah,
obviously, when you do text one of those numbers, it goes through a service, right? I mean, like I've seen a couple of those videos where, a celebrity will be like, text me at this number, and they make it seem like it's going straight to their cell phone, right? Is that actually how
exactly.
that's not actually how it works, right?
No, yeah. So they'll have it to like the number will go to like a CRM platform,
Gotcha.
basically like some kind of platform they can see, and they can respond back, kind of like a cloud system where you can respond back SMS on a computer or something,
Interesting.
and then they can see it. But those artists can still, of course, open that platform. I guess if they're sitting with their manager, they can open it up and kind of see what's going on,
Yeah. And the
things like
data that it
that.
must generate must be so valuable, that a service like that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why and there are companies out there and agencies, like SMS marketing, but of course, since there's such a big response from that, a click rate and things like that,
Right.
it can get a little pricey right now, especially it's such a bigger trend. Um, but it's out there, it's booming, and it'll keep growing. Just people want that direct connection, and
Yeah.
this is a good way. It's kind of, I feel like, overtaking email marketing slowly,
For sure.
as we
Absolutely.
progress.
It'll be
So,
interesting to see where that's at in a year or two because I bet you it's just in the
yeah,
infancy right now of how big it could get.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, awesome, man. If you were to give any, imparting words to any potential artists or filmmakers or anybody, whether a MediaTech or not, that are interested in living a creative life, how could they best leverage TikTok? What would be the best advice that you could give them?
Sure. Just treat it like it's a normal social media and be yourself. And really form a brand, get a nice logo, have a trend that people will enjoy and like,
Hmm.
and just really going from there. You'll be very surprised the results you'll get. When I first got TikTok a couple of weeks ago, I have my own TikTok as well. I just posted and there's so much stuff you can do.
Yeah.
Um, but I was testing and experimenting with it, and I posted like a video of like a raptor running at me. It's like a VR raptor. It was crazy, and literally overnight got like 400 views.
Wow, that's cool.
So you can imagine the impact if you share your own song or anything like that. You'll see actual people going to your Spotify and streaming it versus worrying about paying for a social ad on Instagram, hoping for the best. Have these apps. Um, so yeah, going back to that, really just being yourself, forming a brand, and really experimenting. There's no kind of limits with TikTok. It's very advanced. There's lots of stuff you can do on there,
Uh-huh.
and it'll just keep growing. So I just advise artists to get one. There's a lot of them that are just finding out about it. Especially at MediaTech, they've been asking me, should I get TikTok? I said, yes, you should. um, and that's another thing as an artist or a filmmaker, to always get that newest app and try it out. So you'll
Right.
never know what could happen.
Absolutely. And of course, if you could be on sort of the ground floor of something too.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, man. Thank you
Sure.
so much for joining us. Like I think I've told you before, I usually give sort of an outro spiel about MediaTek, but whenever I have an instructor on, I ask them to do it. So why should people check out MediaTek?
Yeah, absolutely. We're a great hands-on school. We offer very advanced programs in film and audio, and it's a realistic school. There's a lot of schools that can give you the knowledge, and maybe you'll keep that knowledge and carry it on. But at MediaTek, it's the knowledge and the experience, and that's what's great about us. We really provide the experience. We leverage students into real careers in media, and I've seen it a lot. I've seen students at the first day of school, and then a couple months after they graduate, they're working in Vegas,
Right.
somewhere doing lighting or sound. So it's very rewarding to see that. But it could be you, it could be any creator, filmmaker, artist. If you want to expand, your career, your knowledge, the MediaTech's a great platform to elevate your career and goals in life. So.
Now, if you're interested in learning more about MediaTech, check out MediaTech.edu. They have fantastic programs, like Gibran mentioned, for recording arts and filmmaking, digital film. But they also offer a lot of other programs, including acting, makeup, mobile app design, web development, animation, the list goes on. So again, if you're interested, check out MediaTech.edu and schedule a free tour of the Dallas or Houston campus. Trust us, the minute that you go in, you will be sold. The facilities are amazing. The people are awesome. The instructors are really, really great with a lot of hands-on experience, and you'll get a lot of hands-on experience at that school. So again, check out MediaTech.edu, subscribe wherever you're listening to this, and we'll see you again next week with another podcast.